So it's my last day of 56. So tomorrow is my birthday. I'll be 57. And I've been thinking all morning, it's like 1 in the afternoon now. And I've been thinking all morning that I should really try and capture my thoughts about where I am right now, because honestly, I feel like I've been up and down for the last few months, but it's like culminated in this sense of arrival at this really powerful place on my journey, on my power path, and on my leadership development path, and my woman development path, even, that I just wanted to capture it. I wanted to hear myself think out loud. I got no notes, no script, but I want to share where I am, where my mind is at, where my heart's at such a time as this, when I'm about to step over into this new season. So I realize that I am almost at the completion place of 57 years on the planet. So 5 being the number of grace and 7 being the number of completion. So graceful completion is a really powerful way to think about how I'm feeling right now in this moment at 1:18 in the afternoon, the day before I complete that cycle, right? And where do I start? I'm feeling really strong. So the first thing that's coming to me is that I have this kind of extra strong, flat-footed groundedness in the call on my life to rule and reign and have dominion in the space of women in board level leadership who don't like the way that they're showing up, don't like the way that they're speaking up. They're doubtful about the way that they're coming across, and they're dissatisfied with their level of influence and impact in their role, in that position, in their leadership. Like, this kind of conviction that it's these women in board level leadership. It's not just women in board level leadership. It is these women in board level leadership that I feel like I can add the most value to, and that I want to really cut away everything else and just focus on this group. And before, niching has felt so uncomfortable to me. The whole notion of getting your niche, and it just has felt so abhorrent, really. But right now what's happening is that there's this strong love for this particular group of women, and I realize that there are women in leadership who really feel strong, really feel like they got it, really feel satisfied, and I'm cheering them on. I'm going to be still calling for those women to take their ongoing development seriously, but their support, their coach isn't probably going to be me. Maybe it is, but maybe they resonate with something that I say, but I'm not going after them. They're not the ones that I'm going after. The ones that I'm going after, the ones that I'm really passionate about supporting, are those women who are double-minded about where they are, who they are as leaders. On one hand, very highly positioned, seated on, at the table, and then on the other hand, really broken self-perception, low esteem, double-mindedness about their power. On one hand, they know that they're powerful, and that's why they're positioned where they are, and on the other hand, they're doubting that and worried about that and overthinking that and all up in their head about that. And so, yeah, these are the women that I'm really passionate about supporting, and I'm really excited about that. The other thing that's just popped into my mind about where I am right now is that I'm so ready for the love of my life. Something else has just popped into my mind. I'm going to write it down. But yeah, I'm ready for the love of my life. I've been having dreams about being held and kissed by two men that I already know in my life. And I got no idea if either of these men are really the man for me. But I'm taking the dreams as not literal that they are the ones, but that there is a one that is mine. And in the dream, I'm experiencing that part of me, that part of my soul that is absolutely ready to receive this man's love and to love on him. And so I'm just really celebrating that I feel that this is the seat that I'm ready for in this season. I feel like this season that I'm stepping over into is it. And it's not lost on me that tomorrow I complete 57 years, and then the next day, which will be Sunday, I will have stepped over into 58 years. Like so 57 plus 1 is like my 58th year, and 8 being the number of new beginnings. And I've just got this strong sense that this man that I'm sensing, perceiving, picking up in my dreams is coming in this season that I've stepped into. Anyway, so the next thing that women in senior leadership who don't like the way that they're showing up, and this man that I'm expecting, and the other thing that I wrote down on my piece of paper is quantum. Like, this is a knowing that is really been growing in me over the last few months, and is really coming up right now as I'm reviewing the year and the season that I'm in. And I just know that quantum leaps are possible and real, and that and available to me. That a quantum leap is available to me. So what I mean is that this morning when I woke up and I started to contemplate about writing another post on LinkedIn, I felt a frustration rising in me. Like, writing a post is not enough. It's like I feel like I'm operating at this level, but that there is this whole other level that's got the life that I want, that's got the man that I want, that's got the impact and the influence that I want, that's got the reach that I want, the scope that I want, the clout that I want, everything that I want. That everything that I know is mine it feels like it's in this realm above me. It feels like it's higher. And so I felt the frustration, but the frustration quickly dissolved into this awareness that is precisely what quantum leaps are for. That quantum leaps get you to that next place fast, suddenly, immediately, and without having to cover all the bases to get there. Like, I don't even need to know how. I just need to be here, being me, being the me that I see myself as, and then the quantum takes me to that place without effort, without me striving, without me pushing to get to this new place. And this is very exciting for me because it is an actual knowing. Like, my faith tells me this is mine. My faith tells me this is mine. That I am ascending to a whole new dimension of living, influence, impact, energy, ability, capacity, all of it is happening right now. And I don't know how else to explain it, except I know by faith that it's mine. The next thing that's happening with me is that I've been captivated just in the last few days with this notion of adventure, that a faith-filled life is a life of adventure. Like, there is this invitation that I'm sensing in my soul that is inviting me to playfully live adventurously because of my faith. Live adventurously because of my faith. So it's so the knowing is that I am one with God. God lives on the inside of me. I am chosen and called and endowed with the capacity, imbued with the permission to live an adventurous life, a life of mind-blowing discovery, of 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 new and renewed vigor, energy, and pursuits. I know, like I know myself, that this is something that, whew, I feel emotional about this. That this is something that I'm called to experience in the time that I've got left here on earth. I feel the call to fully live a first-class life of impact and influence, traveling the globe, touching women's lives powerfully, experiencing life deeply for myself, sharing myself fully and wholly with those that I connect with. This is my intention for the season ahead. This is my intention for the season ahead. The other thing that I am really present to today as I get ready to cross over into a new season or another trip around the sun or the moon or whatever people say is my yearning for deeper levels of conversation. So just in the last couple of weeks, I started a series of conversations called Woman to Woman. And really, I started them suddenly and without any thought at all, without any planning. And I feel like since I launched episode 1, and I've literally just today launched episode 2, there has been this searching going on about what those conversations are going to be about. You know, what is the direction of the series going to take? What the direction is the series going to take? And, you know, what do I want the conversations to accomplish? And, you know, I don't have all the answers to those questions yet, but what I do know is that I think it is time for us as women to be having deeper levels of conversation. What occurred to me this morning was that if I was a doctor, I would be a healer of broken self-perceptions. I would be a healer of low self-esteem. I would be a healer of identity crisis and a flawed sense of self. Like, these are the things that I really want to help women to overcome. And I think that my medicine of choice would be conversation. That conversation, deep, profound conversation, is the vehicle for healing, is the vehicle for growth and development and evolution, is the vehicle for a renewed sense of self and a renewed level of impact and influence in our world. So yeah, I feel like conversation is going to feature way more prominently and prevalently in my season going forward, and I'm really excited about that. In fact, today I reached out to a lady who I was a bit nervous about reaching out to, and I'm not sure why I was quite so nervous about it. But I think the conversation that I'm going to be having with her is about the relationship between Black and white women. Recently, I had a dream. I think it was last week. I had a dream, and the question that came rising up out of that dream was, what would you be saying if you didn't restrict yourself, if you didn't filter yourself, if you didn't hold yourself back, if you didn't try and monitor and you know and temper and, you know, be guarded about what would you be talking about if you allowed yourself to really just speak your truth? And the relationship between Black and white women is something that the relationship between Black and white women, the relationship between Black women and themselves, the way that our relationship with ourselves and each other. This is a topic that fascinates me and I think is really important. But generally speaking, I think that all of the topics need a deeper level of conversation. And I am sensing that my growth journey will be around learning how to facilitate that in powerful ways. The other thought that is really going around in my mind a lot is this word unapologetic. Unapologetic. And, today it came to me that a lot's said about being unapologetic, but on some level, it's become a profound reality in my life that I accept myself. I accept my identity and my quirks and my calling and my mistakes, all the mistakes I've made. I accept that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I've accepted that what's coming up for me right now, I don't know if I'm going off track, but what's coming up for me right now is that I just don't need to be liked by everyone to feel okay with myself. I just don't need to be liked or loved by anyone else to know that my relationship with God is intact and potent and primed, ready for me to create with. That the basis, the foundation of my creative power is my relationship with God. And since that's intact, I can live my life regardless of who thinks what about me, regardless of who likes me and who doesn't, what mistakes I make and I don't. I find myself bouncing back from mistakes so much more easily and readily right now. And I think it's got something to do with mistakes not meaning, sorry, my phone's ringing. Mistakes not meaning that there's something wrong with me and God. And that's a huge shift for me, that this caller wants to speak, but they're gonna have to hold on. That that my mistakes, that my weaknesses, that my flaws do not disrupt my potency and my power. And this is such a powerful place for me to be. This is such a powerful, I truly feel it is the reason I can be genuinely unapologetic. I don't think unapologetic means I don't care I don't care what you think. Of course I want to be loved, I want to be liked, but I don't need it. And this is really something that I've come into in a very powerful and genuine and deep way in this season. So the other thing that's really solidified within me, within my knowing, is the power of allowing. And I feel like I've come to a place where I've let myself off the hook to make things happen. I've come to this place where I'm kind of unattached with how things take shape. So I feel much more I was going to say permitted, much more invited to show up powerfully in deep connection with my desires and in deep expression of my truth. and then seeing how things move, seeing how things pan out. So I think that my job is to hold on to the desires of my heart and be of authentic service in the world, and then to see how that pans out, deal with whatever comes up in from a place of my throne, actually dealing with what comes up from my throne, and then seeing how things progress, rather than taking responsibility for making things progress. And that, I don't know if like this is a shift that's been happening in me for a long time now. I feel much less driven and much more led, much less driven by my desires and more led by them, led by my desires and God, led by God. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but that feels like a really important thing to document for right now as I'm crossing over into this new year. I was just thinking that everything feels different now. I mean, even the making of this video, even as I'm making it, I realize that I want to share this with you. That I was just going to make it for myself, but I realize that there is this deep desire to be known by you, and this deep desire to let you see the real me. There's this deep desire to show myself to you in invitation for you to show yourself to me, and for us to have real connection, and for us to exchange gifts, you know, for us to be truly connected, so that we can have that there can be true outcome and true results and true movement and growth and evolution and results and solutions born and birthed out of our connection for real. Now, I don't know if that makes any sense to you at all, but it's true to me, and it feels so important that yeah, everything feels different. Like, this is the level of conversation that I want to have with you, that I want to show you me, and I want you to show me you at this level of transparency. And that's exciting to me. I'm excited that I've decided that I'm going to share this video with you. So if I had my way, I would just leave this video just here, and over the next sort of few hours, just keep popping back to update it as new thoughts occur to me. But I've got a call coming up, so it looks like I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. But let me think if there's anything left to share with you. You know, I like to say that you have to be living at the bottom of the ocean in a cave somewhere to not realize that something's up in our world, something's shaking, something's changing, something's moving, something's shifting powerfully. And I think that's right. I think that we are either approaching a new day, or a new day is already here, and that we've got a real chance at making the world a better place, as cliched as that sounds. I really believe that. And I really believe that leadership is of paramount importance in creating those shifts, in shaping the shift that's occurring, that we need a new type of leader, an influential new breed of leadership at such a time as this. And I think that new breed of leadership is you. I think that we can't be satisfied with business as usual. We can't be satisfied with the level that we've been functioning on, that there is a call to all of us as leaders to evolve and ascend and grow and evolve. Did I say evolve? and mature and upskill. We need to be investing in our development as leaders for this new day that we're leading in. I believe that the call on us as leaders is to create new marketplace systems that are expanded in its priorities, are expanded in its values. The old system of the marketplace was really focused on profit and really focused on power, personal power and personal status and personal gain. And nothing wrong with any of those, but it's just not enough if we're going to be well as a whole. We need to expand our priorities and up our value system so that it takes into consideration the well-being of all people. That we really need to care about all people, and we really need to care about the planet, the sustainability of the planet, and we really need to care about the future generations that are coming. You know, a thought that I've been having really deeply and powerfully over the last few months is that my background is medicine, and doctors in particular have this thing called the Hippocratic Oath, and it's kind of like a swearing that in their position as doctors, they will do the patient no harm. Well, I think we need another type of oath for marketplace systemic governance and leadership, and that is that we will do no harm to any peoples. We will do no harm to the planet, and we'll do no harm to the future generations. That shift from the old profit shareholder primacy to the place where we're caring about these other things, to the place where we're prioritizing people and the planet and future generations, that shift is going to require a new type of leadership. That shift is going to require a new level of power for expression in board level leadership and in leadership at all levels, actually. I believe this with my whole heart, that none of us can afford to be complacent in our leadership right now, because we have this mission to shift, to create a new system, new systems that have better impact on the wider world, more than just the stakeholders, more than just our personal individual selves, but us all collectively, future generations and the planet. This is what I believe with my whole heart. And this is the basis, the foundation. This is what all of my life has been leading me to understand. And the season that I'm crossing over into, everything that I do, all the work that I do, whether you and I work together or not, will be founded on these understandings that I've shared in this video today. I'm cheering you on deeply because I know that your life means something, that you're here for a reason. You're here to be part of this shift that's happening right now. We really need your voice. Your voice matters. You're important. You're not a spare part. You're not irrelevant. You're not random. And I'm cheering you on as you, like me, continue to see yourself and understand the calling and own your authority and step into your power and express your true voice for leadership at such a time as this. I feel excited by that. Wish me happy birthday, and I'm sure we'll speak soon. Bye-bye.